I was waiting because they sort of teased Jeff Bridges for a while, right? But they waited long. They actually waited quite a long time before they brought him in, right? So I was like, all right, this must tie in to Legacy somehow, right? That was what I was thinking. I was thinking, okay, this has to tie into Legacy. I need to find out how this ties into Legacy. It doesn't tie into Legacy. I mean, it loosely ties into. They shoehorn. That's what they did. They shoehorned in a Legacy, arc, right? But for the most part, it don't do nothing like that.
It's like you don't even need to bother. Just don't.
Like they literally in like two, like I think there are two lines for for Sam and for Korra. I think they were mentioned once. You know what I'm saying? They were mentioned once, and that was about as much as you got. But and then Jeff Bridges, spoilers ahead, everybody. It's not Jeff. It's not Jeff Bridges. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna explain how it's not Jeff Bridges, but it's not. It's not Jeff Bridges. It's not. Sorry, it's not. It's not Kevin Flynn. It's not Kevin Flynn. I'm leaving it to that. I don't want to. For anybody who actually wants to watch this movie, I'm gonna leave it. I don't want to do too much about this, but
Kevin Davis says, "What up, Kevin? Jared Leto can act, folks. Can act, folks. Just want to be negative. I feel like he's very much a Nicolas Cage, where he will look like a good performer when he has good material, and sometimes he can elevate bad material, and then sometimes he can just he can't save terrible films, and I think that's what happens with him. He chooses some really bad films sometimes. It's like, gosh, why is he in this movie? He's a terrible actor, but it's just he's not in a film.
No, I think he's an okay actor. I think he's an okay actor. I think that you're right. I think that the roles that are, I think when he's cast, it's like he doesn't want to say no. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh!
What up, Nolan?
Hey, Jeff. Nolan, what's going on, dude? Good to see you.
All right, so speaking of Jared Leto, and I was like, this is the perfect segue. So, was it Wednesday? We got the teaser trailer, and I saw your like, I was like, yes, I want to talk to my guy, my Masters of the Universe aficionado. I will say what I thought, and then I want to just let you take the floor.
Well, you know what? Say what you're thinking. All right, and then I'm wondering, right? If you want to what's it called? I'm wondering if you want to react with me. Like see the whole thing together. You know what I mean?
Oh, why not? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me. I got the full trailer. If you if you wanna like, but do you want to mention something first, or do you want to react?
Yeah. Let me. So when they showed the teaser trailer, or they were like, here you go. I'm like, okay, I was really excited from the teaser trailer because I was like, hey, look, oh, okay. And then the trailer dropped, and every Wednesday we do the movie files, and some of us have had higher degrees of excitement about it than others. And I've been from what they've mentioned, because I try not to read all the stuff and all the different rumors. Sometimes I just like going and watching the movie cold, or as cold as you can, and in modern movie watching, because you can't avoid some of it. And seeing the behind the scenes pictures was like, well, Camila Mendes dyed her hair red. Great. And my guy Nicholas looks like he worked out. So I was like, okay, cool. And then when I saw the trailer, it was like, oh, this is very encouraging. I am excited about this movie now. And it was like, great, y'all. It was one of those deals where I didn't care that everything wasn't exactly how it's supposed to be from the cartoon and the toys. They got the gist of it. And I feel like that's where so many of these properties, when they try to adapt it into a film from the 80s and the 90s, they totally forget. It's like, you don't have to follow note by note. As long as you just have the core of it. And Travis Knight, who did Bumblebee, we got the best live action Transformers sequence from that Cybertron opening act. And I was like, wait, I can tell this is that character because they have color.
That's
and
right.
It was like, it was something so simple, but it was like, oh, great. he understands what's going on. And watching that trailer, I felt the same way. Like, oh, this is Masters of the Universe, and they're not finding 48 ways that won't work. They're just going, this is for everybody who watched it in the 80s. We don't care about people from 2026 who are going to laugh at it anyway. It's just for the people who grew up and have been fans, whether they were in the 80s or they're late adopters. This is for you all. And if we do it right, y'all are going to tell everybody else how great this movie is.
Exactly.
They're going to go see it. So go for it.
Yeah. So let's just, you know what? Let's everybody's here, everybody's watching. So why don't you and I at this point just go ahead and take in the trailer, and you know what? Let's go ahead and just talk about the little things that we see, Jeff, because
cool.
This is what you know these are fun for, right? The fact that we get to see it again and share it with all y'all out there. So let's have a quick look at this. I'm going to share this so that you guys can see it. Video file, and you guys let us know in the chat what Easter eggs did you see? What did you notice? Because there's a lot of great things to notice in this film.
There was so much stuff too. It's really surprising on that.
It was crazy. I did a whole Easter egg hunt video. So, but guys, all right, here we go, everybody. This is Jeff and Mai's reaction to Master Universe full trailer. Let's get to it. So first off, Jeff,
you need me to play it,
man. Eternia, freaking crazy. Here we go.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Soar right away, like, oh, sweet.
Time stories.
Freaking Grayskull, man.
And it looked like Castle Grayskull. We have Eternia with the sky sled in the background too. It's like, oh, this is awesome.
Sword looks gorgeous.
Yeah, man. It's just the little stuff right away.
Real.
Oh,
young Page Boy.
Chris Adam.
Yeah.
And then Earth. The one thing we've all been dreading, bro.
The one thing we've been looking forward to most in the Masters of the Universe movie.
I wanted you to be safe.
Look at
But I
this.
sent you to a place I knew that they'd never find
There's
you.
the sorceress if anybody blinks.
Where was she again?
We'll go through the whole thing. We'll go through the
Missing
whole
her.
thing.
It's not a good look for a human race.
Him. People are complaining about that like it's going out of style.
They really are. It's like, gosh, this is what we're reduced to.
It's a comic book store. Jeff, it's a comic book store.
Yeah,
it's a freaking comic book store, bro.
Yeah. We got Vicor here.
Sir, you can't do that.
Big Jim in the background. He's about to crap his pants because he can't get it out of there. He has an eye watch on.
Yeah, man.
Blink and you'll miss the sorceress again right here. Check this out.
Yes. This time I was able
She's
to
right
see
there.
her.
Look at that.
Uh-huh.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor. A lot of nods to some Marvel films there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the hero shot.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
And with an actual green Cringeor.
Oh, dude. That's crazy. We got the Rotom. We got Idris Elba as Man-at-Arms.
Yeah,
Walk.
man. You know what's great? I didn't notice as easily from the trailer that his outfit actually does have orange armor.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Oh, thank you.
Look at this. Look at the size of that sword. That sword is massive.
It looks like a power sword.
Oh, yeah. Eva Lynn finally makes an appearance. There. Oh, look at Cringer. Cringer's a badass. And here we go. 3, 2. I never get enough of that, bro. Never get enough of that.
Just wrecking fools with the sword play.
Masters of the Universe. Snake Mount. There he is. Blue skin Skeletor.
Yes.
Who would have thought we would get a blue skin Skeletor in a movie?
And who looks like Skeletor. He looks like he's a real menace, too.
Only in theaters, June 5th. Oh, my God. Day one watch, bro. Day one watch. Like, seriously, Jeff.
I can't wait for the press screening of it. And I really hope we get a press screening with people, regular audience members in there. Because, the critics will be really stuffy. They won't enjoy it. But with audience members who actually want to see it, want to go to an early screening, they're going to have a blast. And I am going to be among both of those groups. I'm going to be one of the critics, and I'm going to be one of those super excited to watch the movie and get that review done. So absolutely.
So first and foremost, you're asking about my opinion. First and foremost, I was one of those guys. I'm gonna admit it. I was one of those guys who was like, I think you and I talked about this, Jeff. I
We
think
did.
I think you asked me the question. What do you think about like
Mhm.
when the byline came across
Right.
or Travis Knight directing Master Universe? I think you asked me the question like, what do you think? And I said, never gonna happen. Right? I'm pretty sure I told you it's never gonna happen. I said we're never gonna get a Master Universe movie. I said that, right? Is that not what I
Mhm.
said? I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure I said
you are very. This is don't put your money, don't bet the mortgage on
don't
it.
put your faith in nothing, man. This is
Yeah.
not, this is nothing. This is. I was like, who? Travis Knight? What? And I was like, but you know what? Then I said, wait, hold on, Travis Knight. I know that name. Wait a second. And then I found out that he directed Bumblebee, and I was like, oh, wait a second. That's a different. That's a bit. Now you got my attention. Right? Now you got my
Mhm.
attention. Right. But man, so I don't know if you saw my interview. We got to chat with somebody who saw an early cut of the film.
Mhm.
Right. There was
Yep.
actually a couple of screenings for test audiences.
Mhm.
You know how to get into those things because like I sort of I didn't even know that was a thing that they just come to you on the street or whatever, or they these days they post stuff online or something like that, right?
Mhm.
So I didn't. Have you ever been to a test screening, Jeff? Like
Not to a test, so I get to go to the press screenings, which
gotcha.
are in some cases like a month ahead of when everybody else gets to see
Wow,
it. So,
wow,
and then on other occasions, I get to talk to the directors, the cast members
nice.
of it. Um, it's been a minute. So like when the Russo brothers were in town promoting Civil War, I got to actually talk to them and was like, yo, this scene with Black Panther, this is right out of Boba Fett, right? And they were geeking out too because they're like, yeah, we love Empire Strikes Back. And we threw so many references. Yeah. So that's really fun. I'm looking forward and I will definitely go to anything that they try to promote for this one with the cast, with the directors, because this one looks like it's a real we understand the
Yeah,
property
yeah,
and we are doing this for the fans. And
yeah.
anybody else who doesn't like it, cool. There's 1,002 other movies you can watch and complain about. But this is for the fans who want to see a Masters of the Universe movie and never thought it was going to happen like you.
Yeah. I was so cynical, and I was that there was some vitriol there too. I think I'm not even joking, but I think it was more out of frustration than anything else, honestly. But
Mhm.
when we finally started getting some inklings and some some leaked photos which weren't leaked photos, I was
Mhm.
like, okay, that like they showed the power sword, they showed things like I really started getting a little bit more curious. I was like, okay, this is looking different. This is looking like something that might actually be happening, right? And then things kept going and going and going. But then I had that interview with then we heard about CinemaCon,
Mhm.
right? And the fact that they actually had a trailer at CinemaCon. I don't know if it was this trailer, but they had an unfinished trailer at CinemaCon. And some people like John Campea and other guys, they started talking about it. And they're like, whoa, people are actually starting to there's a little bit of rumblings going on. I don't know what's going on. Or like this is kind of
Mhm.
different, right? So once all that started to come around, then I was like, all right, now I got to start looking into this, right? I actually got to start thinking about this. And when I got that interview with the gentleman who got to see the screening, and I really talked to him, I was like, holy crap, this actually sounds pretty decent. Like the fact that everyone was saying the makeup is on point, the costumes are on point, they look like the
They're
cartoon
supposed to.
equivalents. That's where I was like, this is different. Like Travis Knight,
Mhm.
knowing Kubo the Two Strings, so he's done animation, right? He's done animation. Then Bumblebee, which he did a fucking superb job on, right? Then I was like, okay, can this be real? Can he make Master Universe a thing? So then we had the long wait. No trailer. No trailer Thanksgiving. No trailer during Christmas. No trailer for New Year's. And then we were like, all right, is this trailer ever going to come out? And then I was thinking to myself, you know what? I was like, I was right. This movie's not coming out.
Never happened.
This movie's not coming out.
It's just an illusion.
This movie's a lie. Right? It's freaking vaporware. And then literally, as I'm saying those words in my head, the freaking teaser trailer drops. And you know what? I think this was genius. They said teaser today, trailer tomorrow. Dude,
Right.
You know what that does for people? People lose their collective minds, but they did the right thing in the teaser trailer, right? You know what? Let's because of that, just because of that whole situation. Why don't we take a quick look at the teaser trailer? Because the teaser trailer was something else. You know, the teaser trailer was freaking something. It was completely different. And you know what? I'm interested to see your reaction on the teaser trailer because, like, honestly, there was a lot in that teaser trailer that made me chuckle. I thought the teaser trailer was fun, man. I thought it was a fun ride. And I'm curious to see what you thought of the teaser trailer. Check this out. Whenever you're ready.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting I need to move that up there.
I got no control.
Right.
So guys,
I have the power.
You have the power, bro. So here's the teaser trailer, which got everybody hyped up before the actual trailer. Check this out. And Jeff, let's react to this, man, because this was a lot of fun. I love the television screen.
Yes. The buttons.
Look at that. A healthy, balanced breakfast, bro.
Absolutely. Hard work and exercise.
And masters of the freaking universe. You hear the theme song in the background?
Yeah, man.
Perhaps now more than ever, we need that
that kind of hero again. There's a lot to take in there in such a short amount of time, bro. Like, seriously. This line got me, man. Like, this line is resonating in my head quite a bit. So let's listen to this line exactly the way it's said.
Perhaps now more than ever, we need that kind of hero again.
That speaks volumes, man. The things that are happening around the world, everything that's going on. You know, we need some heroes, man. You know what I mean? We need some freaking heroes up in here.
I'm gonna hold out to the end of the night too.
Yeah, it's crazy. We are in many ways at a crossroads from many things. I mean, we're not going to get too deep into the state of the world right now, but one of the things we do need in these times is a hero. You know, like I remember when Revelation came out. When Revelation came out, you know how they did the trailer with we need a hero, right? That got people pumped, man.
Mm-hmm.
Got people pumped. And yeah, this might not be the physique of everybody's hero today. You know what I mean? Like, the idea of muscle-bound heroes is not really a thing. Although comics has always been about muscle-bound heroes, right? But you know, when people see somebody taking their shirt off, they kind of go, "Huh? What you doing, man?" Like, seriously, they're kind of like kind of creepy, bro, right? But honestly, we need some archetypes, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? But what did you think about, like, the computers and stuff? What were your thoughts?
I mean, just everything. This was our lives back then. I mean, the floppy disk, the TV with the boop. Here's one channel. Here's another channel. Here's another one, and there's the power, and then there's the off switch. And then if you're lucky, you have here's the whole other slew. You had your UHF and VHF, and it's like, oh, here are the other ones. So that was so fun. And just, I mean, there's nothing plasma 4K, 8K with this TV. It is the box. And, you know, the only thing missing on the TV is the rabbit ears with some tinfoil on either side of them so you can maneuver around. And, hey, I've got channel 45.
It's a UHF channel.
Yeah,
UHF channel, bro. Are these Lucky Charms? What? I think I see some Cocoa Puffs in there. I think I see some Pebbles.
It's a mishmash of all kinds of cool stuff.
It's like everything General Mills has to offer in one gigantic.
Yeah. And that kid is being ridiculous with that bowl. I mean, it is overflowing with cereal, and any second, one more splash of milk is gonna take it over the top.
It's a healthy breakfast, bro. It's a healthy breakfast.
Yeah, we just had the orange juice there. I'm waiting to see the bacon or the hot cakes from McDonald's over on there.
Hey, at least that's actually breakfast. This is just pure sugar. This is what
got you going the rest of the day.
Got your diabetes early, bro. It was one of the things. But look at the neon colors, man. Yeah. Look at the neon colors.
And that's like a nice foreshadowing of the movie because it embraces color.
I know, right? I know.
It was funny because that old one, it was like the archetype for the Matrix, where let's take all the colorful heroes and put them in black. And with the X-Men movie, what do you expect? Yellow spandex, boo. Yeah, I do. I want to see some color. And I
love those. I love that line. What do you think? You want to think yellow spandex? So, like, oh god. That was so crazy.
And I love
But
that it flipped it around. What do you
oh my
expect?
gosh.
Black leather.
But a couple of things that really stand out here. This is so ridiculously meta. It's not even funny. I mean, like freaking Mattel's a toy company, and they find the Power Sword in a freaking toy store. And what do you see in the background there, Jeff? Do you see what I see? I see a dude holding up a sword. Is that freaking Lion-O, the Lord of the Thundercats?
It could very well be. I'm like,
Dude.
is that a Barbie next to him though?
The Barbie, I'm pretty sure. That's a Wicked doll. That is
okay.
That is a Wicked doll. Okay, that is Lion-O, Lord of the Thundercats.
I wonder if it's a Wicked Barbie doll.
Oh, what is it? A Wicked Barbie? That isn't. No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Barbie made the Wicked dolls. That's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you. But
Yeah, man,
is this an early indication saying, proof positive, that if this movie does well, there's a Thundercats movie on the way, bro?
Dude, I mean, I feel like all of us who grew up in the 80s who just gorged on these cartoons where when we got home from school like 2:30, and then we were in front of the TV till 5 o'clock getting all these toy commercials. That stuff was great. And for whatever reason, every other kind of genre has been able to make $1 billion franchises. We've seen Marvel, we've seen DC do it, and it just feels like we've seen Transformers kind of sort of do it to us against the odds, because that's not really Transformers. I don't know what Michael Bay was doing with those, but they've made a bunch of money. I still do not understand how they were able to see G.I. Joe and give us the 3 movies they did. I don't hate Retaliation, but I still felt like they could have leaned way harder into G.I. Joe.
Yep.
And that one should be one that was just so easy because you don't have to deal with superpowers. I mean, the most you have is Zartan's camouflage abilities. That's it. Everything else you can explain like a real
movie. It is a military movie. And it should be a military movie. And it should have outlandish characters, right?
Just costumes. That's really all it was. And it's like, how was Flint?
Personalities.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know what? One thing I really regret, if not regret, but one thing I'm disappointed in is that Roadblock didn't do no rhyme. Like, at least give me one rhyme. I just want one rhyme, Rock. Just give me one. You know what? Even do a freaking hip hop track. Like, do something. Do something cool to remind me that you're Roadblock. But
when they cast him, I was like, this is wrong. Roadblock, much like Thor and Power Girl, is not the leader of a team. He is the heavy muscle. And you don't need that just because you cast The Rock. And Rock is just like, ah. And I know what they're thinking was, we'll get people to watch and care about G.I. Joe. All you have to do is make the people who grew up watching G.I. Joe care about the movie. And that's done. You don't have to convince girlfriends, boyfriends to go watch the movie. It's an action movie and people watch action movies. And really, if you just did it true to G.I. Joe, you would have a whole franchise. Are you reading the Skybound G.I. Joe Transformers Void Rival books?
No. I was so busy, like these days especially. But go on. What's so special? What's special about them?
Those have been really great. They're going to be doing a cartoon series off those 3 titles.
Nice.
At some point this year.
That's
and
awesome.
I really feel like, I mean, the cartoon is going to be great because they really don't have to think about what they're going to do. It's just, let's do. We saw this with Invincible. Those the G.I. Joe Transformers and Void Rivals all are from Robert Kirkman, his imprint, the Energon Universe and Image. So we know based off the quality of Invincible, they're not going to Hollywood it up and go, well, wouldn't it make more sense if no, they're just going to go all in with it. And the characters are interacting in all the different books. And I don't want to spoil too much for you, but the events in Transformers directly start G.I. Joe. And
really,
that was really cool. And I just felt as I was reading it, like this would be the perfect start for a live action G.I. Joe Transformers combined universe. And on the last one, was it Rise of the Beast, which I did like because they had more color in the Transformers. And they teased it with, hey, G.I. Joe. I'm like, no, just scrap all that. Just do what they're doing with these Energon books, because that is the perfect blend of these 2 universes. It makes sense. And it would be really easy for them to make a live action G.I. Joe series, not even just a movie that comes out every other year, but like a full on TV show. Because you don't have to, I mean, we're seeing space space-based TV shows. They could find the budget for a G.I. Joe TV live action series. Anyway, long-winded rant that you can do these properties justice, and the kids who grew up with that stuff are adults who have a little bit more disposable income. One of the first things they're going to do is, hey, offspring of mine, this is something I love. You're going to love it too. Come with me to the theater. We're going to watch it. And that's 2, 3, 4 movie tickets sold right there.
Yeah.
You do it right, they'll go see it again.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's not like they weren't trying to go in that direction. I mean, like the last Transformers film, Rise of the Beasts, the end credit scene basically actually, was it even the end credit scene? I think it was, right? The end credit scene basically set up the idea that they were going to meld Transformers and G.I. Joe together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was literally like, Mask. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, Mask. I was like, there's going to be a hybrid of, soldiers with vehicles, and, they're not sentient or whatever. But obviously, the guy suits up using jazz, right? Like a power suit, whatever. But
I will say in the Energon universe, because this has been on covers, they are already into that. So like they've used Transformers and G.I. Joe, and the obvious evolution of that was Mass, like you said. And they're like, yeah, of course, they've got transforming cars. Why can't? And it's just like, wow, this makes perfect sense. So they're already in that realm with the books, and I really recommend it because it's just like,
that sounds like a good read, man. That sounds like something I would enjoy for sure. So you know what, I will. I'll be taking a look at that when I have some time. But yeah, man, like it's crazy. And I guess I have to ask this question now. What are your thoughts about the concept that a lot of people are throwing around these days that the comic book movie age is done? Because a lot of people, you chuckle, but that's what they're saying, right? That's what they're saying. A lot of people saying the comic book age is done, right? What are your initial thoughts about that? Because I have a thought in a second, but I want to hear from you first before I jump in.
Okay, so I need to make sure that I can speak fully before I. All right, so social embargo. Okay, all right. So Disney sent along Wonder Man, and I got to watch all 8 episodes, and I can share my review tomorrow.
You already got to look at it. Oh, that's
I've
cool.
watched all of it,
That's
and great. I can share my reaction without my review, and I think it directly speaks to the problems with saying there's superhero fatigue. I've never once heard people say we've got fatigue about gangster movies, about crime drama movies, lawyer, medical, rom-com fatigue. I've never heard that be a phrase. And for whatever reason, there's still this massive resentment to superheroes and comic book movies. Like, how dare you infringe on our landscape? Stick to comic books, stick to maybe even action figures. You can't come to the movies. You can't dominate this thing. And so now we've seen some bad movies, and then they're like, we knew it. It couldn't last. And I don't think it's superhero fatigue. I think it's terrible movie fatigue. My brother, I called my brother while I was watching Wonder Man. And, and I always say that they dropped the ball right away with the multiverse saga because they didn't care about it the same way they did with the Infinity Saga. And you look at how many times you saw the same characters over and over and over again. We saw Tony Stark in 7 films, Cap in 6, all the Avengers except for Hawkeye in at least 5 films. War Machine was in 4 or 5 films.
Yep.
Bucky was in a bunch, like 4, maybe 5. But
I like Bucky. I think Bucky. Yeah. Other like the Thunderbolts, it was a bit weird, but other than that, I like Bucky. But sorry.
And you got to care about those characters because they were drilling into you. These characters are important, and you came to care about them because yes, I've seen this character before. I want to see them again. I want to see them interacting with this character. Oh, cool! Here's Bucky fighting Black Panther. Awesome. And I feel like with this in multiverse saga, Wong and Trevor Slattery have been the most recurring characters. It's like, compare that to Iron Man, Thor, Captain America. They're telling us Wong and the fake Mandarin are the most important characters next to Black Widow 2 and Red Guardian. And I don't see how any universe would avoid people going, this is bad when you're doing that compared to the formula that made you billions and billions of dollars, which with every movie. I really like Fantastic Four, but people didn't go to it like an Avengers movie simply because it's our first time seeing them. And then the next time we're going to see them is in the Avengers movie. If they'd gotten 3 Fantastic Four movies out to us by the time we got to Avengers Doomsday, I think there'd be a lot of buzz to see them. I mean, I was excited seeing M'Baku and Ben Grimm shake hands, but it would have been awesome to have seen a few more adventures of the Fantastic Four. Or, go ahead. I'm sorry. I know I've been talking a lot.
No. These are valid points. I mean, I asked a question, right? What do you think of action comic book fatigue? So, just jumping off your point with the Fantastic Four, I enjoyed Fantastic Four for what it was. Unfortunately, it was they took a completely different direction on that it didn't really, it sort of felt like a Marvel movie, but it didn't feel like a Marvel movie. You know what I'm trying to say? It felt like a look back at our past, which never happened. You know what I mean? Like it looked like the Jetsons. A lot of people talk about how it looks like it was the Jetsons. You know what I mean? Flying cars, this and that. Now, of course, Reed Richards was the only one with a flying car. But
Sue, his wife.
Right? Yeah. But they had technology which was well beyond ours in the 40s. You know what I mean? Like it was very much a future driven by technology, right? And Reed Richards could do no wrong. He can he can send people into space. He can move in multiple directions. Move people to multiple directions, right? And of course, we got what was it called? Franklin, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got Franklin. And the destiny that there was a lot of setup in a very short amount of time. You know what I mean? But we needed more of that. I agree with you. We needed another film to set up the idea that they know about a obviously they discovered multiverses now, right? They figured that out. But we need a bit more setup now. Like you can't just one of the great things about the Avengers was they took the freaking time, man. They took their dang time, right? Iron Man set everything up. Then you had Thor. Then you had what was the one I had?
You had Hort.
Yeah.
You had
Hulk,
Thor, Big Captain America. You had
right.
another Iron Man movie.
Captain America, that's what it was.
So it was like you had all this stuff. You had
you had all
movies before Avengers.
Right. And then you had Iron Man 2, right? Where they introduced Natasha, right? Getting that out of the way, right? And even a cameo in Thor for Hawkeye. So now you have your core, right? You got your core, you see the personalities, you know what they're about, right? And I remember at the time when Avengers was coming, I was like, how are they going to get all these egos into one movie without ruining it? Like, because I was like, you got Tony Stark who's an egomaniac. You got freaking Thor who's a god. Like even the comics, you really got to think of how ridiculous this book is, right? But they make it work. Why? Because each one has their own personalities. Each one is a flawed character. Each one does its own. But you need the character development time in order to actually make that work.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing about Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four, you have a whole 4 characters who need to develop their time. Ben Grimm, I sort of got the idea that he was, trapped in a monster's body. I sort of got that. I sort of got that he has a soft spot for kids, and he's about to enter into a relationship with, a woman of faith. You know what I mean? I got all that, but it was it was a juxtaposition between the fact that our world might be devoured by something, and we, everybody's on the edge but here's the thing. It never really felt like anyone was on edge. Like that movie felt really kind of like everyone's on. Yeah, we have to work together to warp ourselves into a different part of the. It was like, but Reed Richards can save us. Reed, like that was the thing. It was always about the Fantastic Four will save us, and the tension was not there. I think
I
that was the
think
really
the
big.
problem with the Fantastic Four, the problem, because I said I really liked it, is unlike Iron Man and everything else outside of Spider-Man, we'd already seen 3 Fantastic Four movies, and there was too much. I mean, it was kind of like if we repeat what we've done already, people are like, "Yeah, we already know this about them. We don't need to sit through an origin of these 4 characters all over again." Yes, Ben's sad because he's a monster. Johnny's a hothead. They couldn't just do that all over again because I mean they did it with Spider-Man. And we're like, no origin. Same deal with Hulk. No
Yeah.
origin. We're just putting them right in. You understand these characters. We're gonna trust that y'all can Google anything you don't understand. Here you go. But for Iron Man, Cap, Thor, they had to take the time. Black Widow and Hawkeye, Black Panther, everybody else, they had to set up for Guardians. There was a bunch of characters they put in there. We cared about them by the end of it. That was the one thing working against Fantastic Four. They had these movies that weren't received well, and they couldn't take valuable time to get there, especially when they put it out knowing they were going up against the pun intended doomsday clock, where it's like, we got to hurry up and get this out before doomsday.
There's the thing, right? Like, even with the, people are going to argue this factoid for a long time. Like the decision to bring RDJ back for Doomsday, like you just had the most impactful death outside of Wolverine. You know what I mean? Like you literally lost a character, and now unceremoniously you're bringing that actor back to enter into the same universe, arguably, to do what? To shake it up, to bring it to bring us to wake us up again. I don't know about that, right? The thing is that a lot of people are going to have a hard time separating their idea of Iron Man from Doctor Doom. These are two very polarizing characters in very different situations. You know what I mean? One is a megalomaniac. No, arguably they're both megalomaniacs.
Which one?
Right? So I was about to say they're arguably both megalomaniacs, but one is out to rule everything, the known galaxy, whatever it is that he wants, and the other one, made a mark for himself by conquering his inner demons and protecting the ones he loves. Right? So why would you take that character who you built up over a full decade, right? Because that's arguably what it was. You built up Tony Stark as the archetype for Marvel for a full decade, and then you're basically going to tell everybody, "Oh, he's back," but he's back as somebody else. It's like, really? Like, so that aside, that portion aside, now you need a grand story to pull it all together, to bring everybody into this crisis, right? And you feel it necessary to bring in the Fantastic Four because of why? I mean, we already have a host of characters that can fight against Doctor Doom who actually have good connections to Doctor Doom, right? Obviously, the first one that comes to mind will be the Fantastic Four. But why put him in our universe? You know what I mean? Like, are you obviously they're bringing him from their universe to our universe, but why do that? It's just like I need to start seeing more of it because again, like these. One thing I wanted to bring up as well today is Master Universe just surpassed the viewership of all the teaser trailers of the Doomsday combined. Well, not combined. They're not combined, but individually. So the most number of views I think was Captain America at like 18 million, right? Master Universe just hit 20 million, right? In terms of views on YouTube. So it's a pretty substantial what's it called? Milestone. Considering the Master Universe, nobody knows what Master Universe is. You know what I mean? In terms of today's audiences, right?
But I think that the huge thing that the people just don't want to acknowledge is, our generation is not the boomer generation. We're still watching YouTube videos. We're still like, oh man, you got something that we care about? Yeah, we're hyped and we're going to share it with our friends throughout whatever. And I really think that there is some truth to the notion of superhero fatigue, but I really think it just is due to the multiverse saga not connecting with audiences. It's like, hey, you guys fought Thanos, you saved the universe, the galaxy. What's next? We're gonna go to all these different worlds where everything's different. Who cares? And I feel like that's been their big problem. There's no hook to the multiverse. there was a hook to, we got to get these stones because something's going to happen if somebody assembles them all. Oh, shoot, somebody did. It's a real problem. There's no consequences. There's no stakes whatsoever to the multiverse. They just are different worlds. Cool. Great. There's no menace turning around the chair like Thanos. Word, I'll fight them. So it's just nothing like that. From the first Avengers post-credit, it was like, oh man, this is about to be wild. And it kept going. The threat of Thanos. What is the threat? Oh, there's Kang. Well, Ant-Man can beat him. Now the threat is really Doctor Doom. And we don't even see him before, like, he's got this deal. And that's all we get of Doctor Doom before Doomsday, and I'm assuming Doctor Doom is not going to make a big cameo in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm like, oh man, it's going to be amazing. So they have failed on all the levels to make this multiverse thing connect. There have been some good movies. There have been some good TV shows. But overall, when you look at the success of the Infinity phase, the Infinity storyline compared to the multiverse saga, it's night and day. It is crazy because they're the ones that created the blueprint. People were complaining, oh man, there's so many movies. It feels like homework. Well, that homework led to Endgame being one of the highest grossing movies ever. I would do the exact same thing until people get tired of the homework deal. But if I've got something that makes $1 billion from Infinity War to Captain Marvel to Endgame, I'm going to make people do homework. Watch all this stuff. That builds that excitement, that momentum. That's why people aren't excited.
There's also value. There's also value in the TV series too. You know what I mean? Like it's not like they haven't brought television their television series into movies. They've done that. You know what I mean? So we've seen that. So you know what? And the thing is, television is lucrative, man. Like you can really bring in characters from that, right? Sure. So invest in these characters. Saying that you're going to do homework. People binge watch all the time anyway.
Exactly.
So many people were so hyped up for Stranger Things, and unfortunately, the end.
Hold on. So I'm still. I need to make sure to stop. So,
no, I haven't watched it either.
Oh, okay.
So I was just mentioning it as a matter of fact. So I haven't mentioned. I wasn't going to go into spoilers on that, but I was just saying that so many people were anxious for Stranger Things, and apparently now a lot of people were disappointed in the ending, right? So the thing is that if as you said, homework, whatever, right? But the reality is people enjoy these films and people enjoy these series. So you know what? Drip feed them a little bit. Don't say, oh, we need a new movie to restart the MCU and blah 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 blah. That's an easy way to kill a franchise, man. You can't rush these things. You just cannot, right? I talked about how this Master Universe film, it took forever to get this trailer. You know what? By the time it finally dropped, we were all freaking hungry for it. Like the fan base, we were dying for it. Many of us were just questioning, is this ever going to come out? Like, it was crazy. We were so rabid for it. When it finally dropped, all of us lost our collective. They, like I said, the genius of it. They dropped the teaser, and then the teaser trailer tomorrow. We're like, you son of a, people were losing it. They're like, I need it now. And you knew that they, like, genius.
I would have thought they would have held out the trailer until the Super Bowl.
See, so there's the other thing about that, but I think that would have been a bad idea. And the reason I say that, like, so now they do have to, like, all things being equal, you would expect that they would have, maybe the first 3 minutes, like, how they do these things where they release the first 3 minutes of the movie, or first like a big clip during the Super Bowl, whatever. And now the pressure is on them to figure out if they want to do that, right? But you know what? As good marketing, I would leave it. I would leave this as ambiguous now as possible, right? I would spring around a few more character reveals, maybe a few more cameos that people that some of the fans are just going to get excited at, and then people are going to say, "What the hell is that?" Right? Because that allows us as toy tubers to freaking say, "Hey, you don't know who this is? Well, let me tell you who this is." You know what I mean? And then basically we can tell everybody, right? So this is one of those things about social media that's the big thing for all these companies now. Utilize us, utilize the mouthpieces that you have, because we as fan bases are rabid about this. We are the ones who want to bring this to our audience to say, get hype, get hype, get hype. We just saw Spike, or who's next? You know what I mean? Like, Goat Man looks like a freaking demon, like that kind of stuff, right? So and I did a whole freaking video about picking apart every little Easter egg that I could find. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of thing that we do, right? That's what we do. That's like Tuesday for us, right? But it really does, get the community invested, right? These are the things that really bring a community together and really get everybody excited. I've been saying it for a little while now. This is the year for Master Universe because Master Universe has never been in the public consciousness as much as it has in the last couple of decades. This is it.
Mhm.
If there is a second coming of Master Universe, it is now. Like you would have thought, on the 40th, they're releasing toys, they're releasing, comics, they're releasing whatever, but it really hit us as fans. That's all it did. Movies tend to do this and really bring it to an audience that just has not been like seen, right? They just do not. And now because they cast it right, man. They got Galatzine, who is freaking every chick wants, to swoon over him. He's taking his freaking shirt off. He's got his bare legs. You know what I mean? He's front
They
facing.
didn't give him pants, which is great.
No pants, dude.
He's
People are so excited about no pants. Then you got Camila Mendez, and then again, some great stuff for everybody else, right? And then you got Idris Elba, freaking Academy. Basically the guy is going to slay this role. 100% he's going to slay this role. I've already gone on record saying it's hard for me to disconnect Alan Oppenheimer from Duncan. But no matter what, I know 100% you gave this to Idris Elba, he's going to freaking slay this role. The man is just in freaking sane. The moment I saw when I first saw him on Pacific Rim, I was like, who is this guy? This guy is freaking he stole every freaking scene in that fucking I was like, number one, don't ever touch me again. Number two, don't ever touch me. I was like, oh fuck, this guy's on fire. This guy is ridiculous. I was like, did he just do that on film? I was like, my God. And then he takes on a goddamn lion by himself to defend his $2. I was like, this guy is crazy. This guy's awesome.
Have you ever watched The Losers?
No, I didn't watch The Losers, but obviously I did watch. I did watch. What was it called again? Suicide Squad 2. I watched Suicide Squad 2. But what was The Losers? What was The Losers again? Remind me.
The Losers is like the most ridiculous comic book crossover movie. It's based on a comic book, but it's like got like comic book royalty. So Jeffrey Dean Morgan's in it. So you got Negan, Zoe Saldana, you got Gamora, you got Chris Evans, Captain America. It is in Idris Elba. So you've got Peace. What is his name in there? Bloodsport. And it's just like, wow, okay, we got a whole rack of these guys, and they're just, I don't say it's just like a Suicide Squad. They're just like an A-team kind of thing going together on a mission. It's great and fun soundtrack. It is just like, this is really cool, really underrated, but I think it's a fun, brainless action movie, and I think you'd like it because the cast is just like,
I remember hearing about it when it came out. I remember hearing about it, and I remember the cast. I was like, "What the heck? This is crazy." Right. So yeah, I'll definitely check that out. I'm snowed in anyway. I might as well, do something with it. Right. So there's another hour and a half I can put away. But I think that this has this for the Master Universe. I don't think it's gonna be like what Barbie was for her movie. Barbie was a phenomenon in itself. That was a generational cultural awakening that I think if Mattel knew what movies could do for them, I think that they would have done it a lot earlier.
If only.
Yeah, I know. But I think that this is Marvel's Iron Man. Sorry, is Mattel's Iron Man moment for Master Universe.
Could be.
I think that this could launch Master Universe into a franchise movie set if Travis Knight can pull off a miracle. Because I'm not gonna candy coat this one. It will be you got me, you got us, you got the average comic book fan, you've got the diehard He-Man fans, you've got the geeks, and you've got the curious. But this has the potential to get a much wider audience. You have a star, a lead character who is popular with the current young folks in the current market. Mm-hmm. You have the Tila, who also is in that same space, right? And then you have a story which can the way they've put it together, which it's not my cup of tea, but you do have the Superman origin story kind of idea. So an alien is sent off to Earth, raised by, I'm thinking it's his grandparents, because Marlena, like Adam Glenn, I'm pretty sure she sent them home to mom and pa freaking Glenn. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure that's where he was raised. And all he does is obsess about the sword all this time, going back to freaking where he goes. And Superman learned about his heritage through videograms. You know what I mean? Like that's it. Literally is one of the. And even He-Man himself, he is a Superman archetype. The fact that he disguises himself as a meek young prince. The fact that he when he goes from somebody who's totally insecure to somebody who's absolutely sure of himself as Superman. You know what I mean? Like that archetype has been set in stone for many of us, right? So you have a great blueprint, right? And now you're actually starting it off as a Superman film, which is not supposed to be, right? Anybody who knows Master Universe knows that he never went to Earth, right? But now you're actually doing it. You're now literally doing Superman. So let's do this one right, Travis Knight. Let's do this one right. And for the fans of the series, you have people who just like, oh my God, it's a toy store. Oh my God, there's a big, huge Viking guy holding onto a freaking sword power. Oh my God, there's Blueskin Skeletor. Oh my God, there's Fisto. There's this, there's that. You're hitting the notes right. Bring it together. Let's have a great ride. At the very least, let's have a popcorn movie, which is going to be freaking mindless fun, and it's going to be really cool to see. And let's hope for a franchise. But if this is the only Master Universe film to come out, I'm hoping for a fun ride. That's all I want. That's all I wanted this. Because 2 years ago, I said, as I started this whole episode with Jeff, never gonna happen. That was I want a record. I said that. I said I want a record saying it never gonna happen. This film is vaporware. It's not even. It's a lie. This movie is a lie.
So one thing I was looking while you were going over, and I agree. I think this could be a huge deal. The only problem is the release. I was looking through the calendar, and it's just, when I was going through the movies, it didn't seem like there were a lot of problems. But gosh, it's such a packed time of year. I wonder if they could have gotten this out. Maybe, geez, there's just no easy weekend for them to have arrived at this movie outside of going into April. Which
what's it going up against? Because I know Doomsday's in December.
No, it's not. That's way down. They don't even have to worry about that. But the weekend before, so it's May.
Can you bring it up? Can you bring it up so we can see? Yeah,
let me do this. Yeah,
let's take a look. Let's take a look at what is it going to fight against? What is Master
looking bad? It's really, I mean, I shouldn't say it's looking bad, but it's so hard for him. So can you see that?
Yeah.
All right. So
there we go.
Right away, May 22nd. So this is the weekend before Mandalorian.
Oh shit, that's a heavy.
That's going to run the box office for 2 weekends, and then you got Masters. So I mean, unless Mandalorian and Grogu just falls on his face, which seems really unlikely, it's going to carry over for at least 3 weekends. So you've got this. Now, this is the only real challenge this week. But then you got the next week, the Steven Spielberg movie, which maybe that's enough counter programming that it's not going to be a big deal. Scary Movie 6. But then if you look down here to June 19th,
wow,
Toy Story 5, not great. And then Supergirl the following weekend. So there's 2. I mean, it's just heavy hitter after heavy hitter. So really, which is probably going to be unfair in terms of judging this, in terms of how did Masters of the Universe do? It's got these 2 weekends to make all the money it can possibly make, because there's going to be some crossover with fans of Toy Story and Masters of the Universe. Oh man, I want to take my kids to see it. I've seen it this weekend, but I didn't get the kids until this weekend, and they want to see Toy Story 5. And then you got Supergirl, and that really is the same audience basically. Yep. So then there's so much like, oh wow, got to deal with all these threats to the Masters box office. So hopefully they make a ton those first 2 weekends, and then don't see their box office just plummet when this other competition.
So the way I react to that is yes, that's kind of intimidating. That's kind of intimidating. But I will say this. Just like what they said in the first trailer, we need more heroes. I think that the Mandalorian movie is going to be a fun ride. I think it's definitely going to be a lot of fun. But again, as you said, it's like, was it the week before or 2 weeks before? I guess it was like
2 weeks. So they've got 2 weeks for that. So of course, you assume that Masters should, if it's as good as the trailer looks and the audience reaction is great, it should rock that #1 box office spot for that opening weekend. And typically during the summer season, those big films have a great opening weekend. It'll probably lose, if it's a solid hold, just 50% of its original box office. Then you start seeing those declining numbers get a little bit more significant the third and fourth weekend, depending on how the hold is. The problem is there's other stuff that people will want to see starting that third and fourth weekend. The Masters is going to be around. So it might have a really strong first 2 weekends, and then I'll be like, well, it didn't make this much money, but it's like the context is likely going to be missing. It went against Toy Story, and it also had to go against, because when is the next Marvel film after that? We got Supergirl, and then, and of course that, they just she had a pretty successful debut in that Superman movie, so that's going to be pretty big in terms of like what's coming. And then July, there's a new Minions movie, there's Moana. Gosh, those are the same weekend. Then you've got the Odyssey, the Christopher Nolan film. You've got Evil Dead Burn and Spider-Man.
At least it's not in July.
Yeah, that'd be terrible. I almost feel like August would have been the best time for it to get released, because I'm looking at August and it's not like, oh man, there's a lot of heavy hitters here. Insidious could be good, but there's nothing that's like, oh, you got to stay away from this. You got another cliffhanger movie. I wonder if they would consider leaving the summer and going to the fall. There's not a lot that I think. You got Clayface, but I don't know who's excited for that. Resident Evil, maybe.
Clayface is such a sleeper. I didn't even know it was a thing really until
Which one?
Clayface. I didn't even know it was really a thing until the beginning of the year. Like I was like Clayface. I think I know that name. I was like, wait a second, really? Clayface? I was like, wow, it's going to be a horror, right?
Yeah.
So some crazy stuff, right?
I'm not excited about that one.
The thing about this year too, though, there's so many comic book and video game movies coming out this year. It's crazy.
Look at Street Fighter's timing, though. They're October 16th. If that movie works, they're going to have so much time to just run. Cat in the Hat's not the same box office. Yeah, gosh, maybe the Hunger Games would be competition, but Street Fighter, if it's good, has a really clear path for like 3 or 4 weekends where it could do some real damage without a lot of competition. And I almost wonder if that would have been a better time period to release Masters, especially if it's good and there's no competition.
Thing is, we can't be second guessing anymore. You know what I mean? I think that in terms of its legacy, if there will be one, it is really bringing Master Universe into the consciousness. I think that will be, at the end of the day, the real win here. Like, more people are at least aware of Master Universe, and now because of channels like ours, we're going to be educating as many people as we can about what is going to happen in this movie and how this movie is going to affect the toy lines and this and that. You know what I mean? But as far as getting new fans and getting a big box office push and everything like that, I'm at that point now where I just want to have a really good movie. I want to have a good ride, and I just don't want this to be, a flop. Not a flop. I don't want this to be a joke. I think that's really what it is. I want this to be a decent movie. I want this to be something where we have fun. We can actually be maybe a bit proud of actually having a movie like this, right? And what I tend to look forward to a lot of times is, we don't have DVD sales anymore, which sucks, because that usually is able to propel, like back in the day, that was able to propel movies into actually getting sequels. You know what I'm saying? Today, it's all about streaming, and streaming just does not give money, like a lot of cash to companies to encourage them to actually, do a sequel. But numbers are big. If
Mhm.
if it continues to do well on streaming, that is and that is an early earmark to companies that this might be worth another look at. You know what I mean? Whether it's a reboot or whether it's a sequel, right? There might be something here, right?
I'm trying to.
I'm not gonna. I have no. Sorry. I just want to roll this one up. I have no aspirations on this movie that it's going to, make $1 billion. That's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I just want this to make its money back at least, maybe, and then just show the world that what properties like this still have some, some life in them, right? The nostalgia aspect of what we're doing right now is very much in the play, right? And we've been talking about how nostalgia is coming back in a big way. Um, so as a Master Universe fan, I definitely want this to do well. Will it do well? I don't know, right? Have they positioned it well? God only knows, right? We're gonna find that out pretty soon, right? But I just hope for a really good movie. That's like a decent movie. A decent movie. I just want to have fun. You know what I mean? I've never been this excited. That's not true, but I honestly have never been this excited for a movie for Master Universe ever. Like even the '87 movie as a kid, I was really hyped up. But I think now I'm really excited about this. I'm still a bit trepidatious about everything, but I have more hope now than I did. Again, I told you, I said this movie would never happen. I just said that. That's just. I know I'm going to eat crow on that one, but I never thought this would happen.
Oh, it's all good. So I looked it up. It looks like, at least for initial numbers, the budget's under 200 million, which if they can do solid domestically, so if they make like 300, and then overseas they throw in another 100 million, there's not. I'm going to buy it on 4K Blu-ray when it comes out because I still need to have that disc that I put into my thing. But I also think we could also consider for Mattel, they may be willing to put money into it as well. I mean, we've
True.
seen Hasbro try to do movies, and of course, they can get an infusion of cash selling Masters of the Universe figures and toys to a whole new audience and generation who came on board after seeing the movie. And I think that's that I'm kind of that's that one hidden avenue for them to make a lot more revenue out of this film, where it's like, oh yeah, it's worth it for us to do a sequel because we've got this avenue to make more money outside of the movie itself. So
True.
We'll see.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And on that note, I've been talking to a lot of people, and overseas, guaranteed Germany is going to be massive for Master Universe. It's going to be freaking huge. South America is massive for Master Universe, huge, right? And there are a lot of us out there. So if it's only 200 million, 250 million, I think that is about as low hanging fruit as you can get. For a movie these days, I think it's about as low hanging fruit as you can get. So I'm hopeful. I am hopeful, Jeff.
With that kind of budget, they could clear that in those 2 weekends. So if it makes 150 and then a decent amount, if it just loses 50%, then it's got that budget pretty much covered.
And on that note, I actually think it's a smart play that they did not release a whole bunch of trailers up until now. I think that, thinking about that might have been a really smart play. If they spend a ton of money on the Super Bowl, I think we're okay. I think it's still okay, and then basically ride that momentum into May.
Mm-hmm.
We might be able to see something special here. I dare not to hope. I dare not to hope, but it would be really cool if we got at least one sequel out of this. I think that would be.
Hopefully, man, because I really want to see this do well for a bunch of reasons. I want to see a movie that treats the source material with actual reverence. I want to see it rewarded because then, every Hollywood is absolutely a copycat thing. Well, we have this property. If we did it the way that they want it, maybe they like it. Yes. And I want that lesson to be drilled in and reinforced.
Oh.
If you just do it this way, that the fans recognize it and want to see it, you'll make your money back.
So yeah, I would love it. Whoever ends up buying Warner Brothers, I would love it if all of a sudden, the meeting room table, it's like, that Master Universe thing actually got its money back and did some. What else we got lying around? we got this thing called Thundercats.
I mean, we've and I love the Guardian films, but it's always so funny to me that became like this really massively popular franchise when there are things that were so much bigger during the 80s that if they did those properties right would blow the Guardians box office out of the water. I
Yep.
mean, if they were to do Thundercats, Silverhawks right, that's an easy trilogy. And they're so far reaching with what they could do with the technology now that it's like, oh, absolutely. Silverhawks, Galaxy Rangers,
Galaxy
Brave Star. There's all kinds of stuff.
Centurions, man.
Yeah,
Freaking
man.
Centurions.
Exactly. And Mask would be such a cool franchise. I mean, they've done Transformers, and then
Dude,
you've got
like I said,
Mask that has superpowers.
Hasbro needs to get it together, man. Hasbro. I know that they got in trouble for making a movie division at one point. Now they're not doing movies anymore. You know what I mean? But you have so many freaking IPs that you can lean on. I mean, we've already heard from Mattel. Master Universe is the beginning. They're going to do Hot Wheels. They're going to do an Uno movie. What the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like they've basically said our IPs can be movies. Wow.
They're like, what do we got? Let's do. I mean,
This
well,
is
shoot,
great.
Jumanji's got his third movie coming. Why not Uno?
There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. So you know what? I'm here for the ride. I am hopeful. I am excited, and I have a lot more hope now. That's
yeah, man. Absolutely. So before we wrap this up, man, and I appreciate you coming on to talk about what I hope is one of the best movies of the year. Anything else popping on your end? Any more conference news you'd like to share with us?
You know what, brother? I would thank you for the opportunity. First of all, I want to thank Jeffrey. Laos Figure Files. My God, it's always so much fun chopping it up with Jeff. It's been too long, brother. Like seriously, we Happy New Year to you, bro. Like seriously,
Happy New Year to you too.
That's how long it's been. We haven't actually had got together and chopped it up for a while. But thank you so much for having me here. It's always a lot of fun hanging out with my good friend Jeffrey Lyles. Speaking of, Jeff, thank you for bringing it up. Today we just announced on Motuniverse.com that we, by the way, guys, we have a convention, myself and my good friend Mike of Attorney Royalty. We are going to be celebrating Master Universe in style this year. This, of course, is, as I said earlier, the most Master Universe has been in the public consciousness in such a long time, decades, as a matter of fact, that we said, you know what, it's time for a freaking Master Universe convention. So we organized and helped to fundraise Motuniverse, the Master Universe convention in Redondo Beach, California. It is going to be freaking epic. We have a lot of people who are behind the scenes working on this, and we have a ton of great guests, including Rudy Obrero. So, guys, if you ever seen a Master Universe packaging from the 80s, Castle Grayskull, the Talon Fighter, Battle Cat, any of those wonderful the Battle Ram, any of those wonderful art pieces, the paintings. This man actually worked on it. He was packaging an artist designer for Mattel back then. Rudy Obrero. He's going to be our very special guest. You can see some of his work in person. The man's a gem. Talking about movies, we have Anthony DeLongis, Blade from the 1987 movie. He will be our special guest. And of course, we can talk all about what it's like to be on the set of a movie, what the anticipation is for the next movie. And of course, he will be doing, and this is crazy, he is a certified weapons master. He will be doing a weapons demonstration at the show. We are really excited about that. And for you Star Trek fans, he was part of the Kazon. He was one of their he was one of the main I guess leaders in the show. He actually had a relationship with Keska. So if you guys were into Deep Space and if you guys were into Voyager, you definitely want to meet Anthony DeLongis. And we are so blessed and so humbled that Alan Oppenheimer, the voice of Skeletor, who does not do too many conventions anymore, he's getting up there in age, guys. So we are so blessed and happy to be welcoming Alan Oppenheimer, the voice of Skeletor, the voice of Man-at-Arms, the voice of Battle Cat. He was freaking Falcor, Jeff. He was Falcor. He was Mighty Mouse. And he was a whole bunch of Transformers, including Warpath, Sea Spray. The man has done it all. He is absolutely a gem and incredible. Meet Alan Oppenheimer at Motuniverse 2026. And you know what? Shira didn't have too much of a birthday in 2025, but we are going to celebrate in 2026. The voice of Shira, Melendi Britt, is going to join us. and she's incredible. She was also the voice of Catra, as well as many other voices, including Batgirl. You definitely have to meet Melanie Brett at Multiverse 2026. William Stout, the man who created the look, designed He-Man in the 1977 movie. Tila, Man at Arms. He designed Blade. He designed Gwildor. And he also, of course, designed Skeletor, the iconic looks of all those characters. But he's also a huge, designer in every right. Heavy metal, all these types of designs. He was worked with Mobius. He is a gem. You definitely have to meet William Stout at Multiverse 2026. Talk about his movie connections. Talk about everything that he's involved with. He's incredible. And writer guest of honor for all you comic book geeks out there, Tim Sheridan, who's worked on Master Universe Revelation. He's worked on Transformers Siege. He's a staff writer on Star Trek Lower Decks. The guy is incredible, and he's working on a He-Man project, which you can't talk about, but he will be talking about it at Multiverse 2026. Definitely meet Tim Sheridan. And another writing guest of honor, Joshua Skye, who's writing the mini comics for the Master Universe mini figures. He's going to be at Multiverse 2026. Talk to him about possibly, maybe he'll let it slip a little bit, what's coming up for Master Universe. I doubt it very much, though. And how he writes his books and the writing process for mini comics and, of course, comic books in general. You can meet him along with our wonderful guests of honor for the artist, Tony Washington, who does incredible work. His resume spans so many different companies. Adobe, he's worked for Capcom, he's worked for Konami, he's worked for so many different movie companies. Definitely meet Tony Washington and learn from this man. He's an absolute gem. And of course, Kim Coleman, one of the real fan artists in our community. He's doing some crazy work for Master Universe, which is incredible. Meet Kim Coleman. And today, Jeff, we were so blessed and so lucky to announce that Mike Young, yeah, that's right, guys, Mike Young, the guy whose signature was at the end of every Master Universe 2000X episode, Mike Young, who owned the production company, Mike Young Productions, brought Master Universe 2000X to life. He will be our guest at Multiverse 2026, and you can find out all the juicy little secrets about what happened behind the scenes at Master Universe, how they got this freaking cartoon series out the door. Because if you actually think about how violent Master Universe was, how did he get it past the censors? How did he get Skeletor's face melted on TV? Jeff, did you see that on TV when you were a kid?
Man, I love that show so much. It was like, you guys have done it.
How did he do it? I need to ask this man as many questions as I can about how he got this greenlit and how they made this happen. Because this, to many people, to many fans of Master Universe, is the series that got them as lifelong fans of Master Universe. So we're super excited to have Mike Young. And Jeff, we have two 2000X toy lines in production right now. One from Mattel proper and the other one from Mondo. Dude, this is crazy. This is crazy. So Mike Young arguably is the one who started it all. And let's be honest, a lot of the look for the new Master Universe movie is inspired by the 2000X Master Universe. The red eyes from Skeletor, his overall demeanor, the suit that He-Man wears, sans the Cordite Cross. I can't believe it. They actually brought back the Cordite Cross. That's incredible. But everything, like Eva Lynn looks exactly the way she did in 2000X, right? So, guys, we have a lot of questions to ask Mike Young about what his thoughts are on the overall design of the show, of the movie, and of course of the TV show. So yeah, guys, we would love to see you guys at Multiverse 2026. Tickets are on sale right now. You can head over to multiverse.com, click on tickets. Right now it's early bird. You can save some money, so that would be great. Children under 10 are free, so bring your kids, guys. Bring your kids. We'll have a great time. And of course, you can even book a hotel right on multiversecon.com. And if you're an exhibitor, early bird pricing for exhibitors ends January 31st. So only a few more days to take advantage of early bird pricing. So guys, don't sleep on that. If you are an exhibitor, you have your vintage toys, the collection, you have a toy line which you'd like to exhibit. Definitely book your table and your booth before January 31st to take advantage of our early bird pricing. I want to thank Jeffrey Lyles and Lyles Figure Files for letting me talk a little bit about Multiverse. Of course, it's always a great time to chop it up with Jeff. And man, 20 million views, Jeff. 20 million views for the trailer of Master Universe. What a time to be a Master Universe fan. Thank you, Jeff.
It's awesome.
It's been
And I'm looking forward to hearing more updates on the big conference, on the big show. And
Absolutely.
we'll definitely have to have you back on to talk a little bit more about it as the time approaches.
Thank you,
kind
brother.
of crazy. But yeah, man.
I got a lot of hot air, so I can talk all day. So.
We'll definitely be talking about more of this Masters of the Universe movie when it drops, or when we get more trailers, all kinds of stuff. So we will be connecting a lot more often here in 2026.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Man, this has been an absolute pleasure. Always hanging out with you, man. It's always a pleasure. And yeah, man, I'm snowed in. It's snowing over where you are. And
I'm about to go back outside to shoot some more figures in the snow.
we're just gonna have to deal with it. But you know what? That just means we have more time to spend on Master Universe. We have more time to spend on all of our favorite comic book movies, and of course, catching up on books. You know, you just recommended a great book that I think I should take a look at. I love Transformers. I love G.I. Joe. So
I'll send you over my recommended reading list of it.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Cool.
And the He-Man. If anybody's interested in comic books, He-Man's latest book, The Broken Sword, is starting to publish, and I'm hearing a lot of great things about it. So awesome. Yeah, a lot of great reading to be done.
Cool. Jay, thank you as always. Thank you all, everybody, for hanging out with us on this special Sunday. Hopefully y'all enjoy the rest of the games. For now, this episode of Lyle's Movie and Figure Files has been filed. Jay, got one last thing to say?
Good journey, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Take it easy.